So anyone remembers what we did last time?
Yes, Prabhu. Prabhu, when the last verse was about how when the elders of family pass away, the
Mhm.
traditions of the family are uncertain and the family traditions can break,
Yes.
resulting in unwanted population.
Yes. So Varna Shankar we were discussing, and we will continue that discussion today. So, Shankaro नरकायेव कुलज्ञानं कुलस्य च पतन्ति पितरो येषां लुप्ता पिण्डोदका क्रिया. Translation: an increase of unwanted population certainly causes hellish life for both the family and for those who destroy the family tradition. The ancestors of such corrupt families fall down because the performances of offering them food and water are entirely stopped. Purport by His Divine Grace. A.C. Bhakti Vedanta. Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. According to the rules and regulations of fruitive activities, there is a need to offer periodical food and water to the forefathers of the family. This offering is performed by worship of Vishnu because eating the remnants of food offered to Vishnu can deliver one from all kinds of sinful reactions. Sometimes the forefathers may be suffering from various types of sinful reactions, and sometimes some of them cannot even acquire a gross material body and are forced to remain in the subtle bodies as ghosts. Thus, when remnants of prasadam food are offered to forefathers by the descendants, the forefathers are released from ghostly or other kinds of miserable life. Such help rendered to forefathers is a family tradition, and those who are not in devotional life are required to perform such rituals. One who is engaged in devotional life is not required to perform such actions. Simply by performing devotional service, one can deliver hundreds and thousands of forefathers from all kinds of misery. It is stated in the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.541. देवर्षि भूताप्ता नृपां पितॄणां न किङ्कारो नायं वृणीच राजन् सर्वात्मानाय शरणं शरण्यं gato mukundam parihritya kartam. Anyone who has taken the shelter of the lotus feet of Mukund, the giver of liberation, giving up all kinds of obligation, and has taken the path in all seriousness, owes neither the duties nor obligations to the demigods, sages, general living entities, family members, humankind, or forefathers. Such obligations are automatically fulfilled by the performance of devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Srimad Bhagavad-gītā ki jai. So here we are understanding. So in the previous words, we were understanding that there will be unwanted population. That because so men will reduce and there will be more women compared to men. So there will be unwanted progeny. So because the men will and women were not allowed to have the weapons, so women will be unprotected. So there will be unwanted progeny, and if there is unwanted progeny, then what will happen? Then there will be fruitive activities. So then there will be like fruitive activities will stop. So fruitive activities are basically karma kand. So we are trying to do karma kand. We are not trying to do karma kand when we are doing bhakti. But originally we are supposed to do karma kand if we are not devotees. So we have to do in certain ways, like rituals like Pitrupaksh. So Pitrupaksh, and then there was this Bhoot Chaturdashi, and yesterday was Halloween. If some of you were there and you were seeing how people were dressed as ghosts, so you can imagine like how they are celebrating this Halloween. There also the intention is that they want to offer some food to their ancestors who have come as ghosts on this day, because during this time of the year the veil between our world and the Bhuvarlok. So Bhuvarlok is where the Pitrus live. So there is Bhuvar Swaha. So Bhulok, then there is Bhuvarlok, intermediate lok, and then there is Swargalok, heaven planet, and then there are 14 planetary systems like this. So Bhuvarlok is where the ancestors and all the semi demigods live. So who are not yet demigods but who are elevated personalities, they also live in Bhuvarlok. So like some saintly persons, they also go to Hooverlock because they are not yet elevated completely in the path of Krishna consciousness. So they have not attained moksha, but they have attained some siddhi. So they also go to Hooverlock, and then Pitrus and then ghosts and other beings also go to Pitrulok. So, and then there is something interesting. So some of them cannot even acquire a gross material body and are forced to remain in subtle bodies as ghosts. So there are Bhoot, Pret, and Pishach. So there are three different beings. So now these three different beings are being talked about. So Bhoot means one who doesn't have a body, who was there and who is not, doesn't have body anymore. Pret means somebody who feeds on the negative energy. So if you have depression, if you are feeling lot of negative energy, so then it might be possible that there are pretas nearby who are feeding off on this negative energy. So, and then there is pishach. So pishachas are actually violent. So we should stay away from pishach. And so, but when we do bhakti, so all these negative entities, Bhoot, Pret, and Pishach, they leave our body, leave our environment. So whenever we chant the holy names of Krishna, so this happens. But also, it might be possible that we might only become Bhoot, Pret, and Pishach because we are not doing bhakti and we are engaged in sinful activities. So, and or maybe our ancestors, they were engaged in sinful activities. So they didn't take up bhakti, they didn't know, and they didn't want to know. They didn't want to know that why people are not enjoying as much as they can. You only live once, and now they are stuck in the bodies of ghosts. So sometimes we will be stuck in the bodies of ghosts, or sometimes our ancestors will be stuck. So they are also our loved ones. Because of them only we are here. We have got this body, and we are trying to do bhakti in this body. So if our ancestors, they are stuck in the bodies of ghosts and other entities, so then if we follow the path of devotional service, like it is mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam, that we don't need to do anything else. But otherwise, there is also like festivals like Halloween and then festivals like Pitrupaks, where we offer something to our ancestors. So some spiritual credit we will offer them, so maybe by feeding the children. So the intention is that we will give something to the children, and some merit of some good karma of that will be offered to our ancestors. So like that. So this is a karma kand way of doing things. Maybe it is not accurate. Maybe I don't know how accurate Halloween is. It is a pagan ritual, I think, but it is might or might not be Vedic. I have not read as much to understand this, but there might be something that people do this. So why? So let's take the next verse. Anyone would like to recite this verse? I can't see anybody's hands or anything, or maybe not. Okay, I will only recite. Everybody is understanding anything to this point?
Yes, Prabhu. Thank you so much.
Thank you. दोषे रेते कुलाज्ञानं वर्णशङ्करकारके उस्ताद्यन्ते जातिधर्मा कुलधर्मश्च शाश्वता. Translation: by the evil deeds of those who destroy the family tradition and thus give rise to unwanted children, all kinds of community projects and family welfare activities will be devastated. Purport: the community projects for the four orders of human society combined with family welfare activities as they are set forth by the institution of Sanatan Dharma or Varnashram Dharma are designated to enable the human being to attain his ultimate salvation, and therefore the breaking of the Sanatan Dharma tradition by irresponsible leaders of society brings about chaos in that society. And consequently, people forget the aim of life, Vishnu. Such leaders are called blind, and persons who follow such leaders are sure to be led into chaos. So this is very interesting verse. So one time I had this argument. with one of my coworkers. So I always try to explain to my coworkers. So he's Chinese, and I try to explain to him that, oh, there was this philosophy of Sanatan Dharma, and then we were doing like lot of good things. So the perfect society, everything was in perfect order. But my this friend is very technical, like he's a software engineer, and he's very argumentative, and he will argue about everything. So he asked me that no, this is not possible. That if there is a society that is perfect, then it would live eternally. Then why would it be destroyed? If something gets destroyed, then it is obvious that something better has to be there. That so that if the previous one is not there, so something is better is coming up. So every time we see that something better is coming up after not. So if something doesn't work correctly, so we are going to do make it something better. Is that right? So does everybody understand this logic that if there is a new thing in the world, then something better must be taking place of it. So does everybody agree with this or disagree? You can speak or raise your hands if you agree or disagree.
Agree, Prabhuji.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you, Shabri. And anybody else agrees or disagrees with this? Okay, Vidhi also agrees with this. Vedas Prabhu agrees with this. Okay. Yes. Maybe others disagree. Do others disagree or agree or they can't reply? Okay. So more or less, this is a reasonable logic. I was almost convinced. But then I came back to this verse. And this verse I understood. Actually, I understood after that how to convince that person. So I convinced in a particular way. I explained that, see, there are two types of people in this world. So, one, so in Bhagavad-gītā and the spiritual literature also, it is mentioned that there are two types of people. And in reality also, there are two types of people. One who want to serve and one who want to enjoy. So if the society is run by people who want to serve, then it is a perfect society. Okay. And it will continue to be perfect forever. But the problem comes when there are both the people and the people who want to enjoy. So they will think that there is only one life. So for example, Napoleon or Alexander or Hitler or whoever you can name the tyrant rulers, they don't care about the consequences of their actions. They will only want to enjoy. So maximum enjoyment and minimum things that they want to do. So they said the idea is that if they want to enjoy and then they want to destroy the society as well after their life, they don't care about what will happen after they die. So that is why the idea is that not always anything good is coming after something is destroyed. So because the people who are destroying are also, according to this verse, unwanted progeny. So they are evil in their deeds. Because if they are unwanted progeny, so they will not be properly trained up in the system of Varnashram Dharma. So if they don't understand their dharma, so what will happen is they will take up the dharma of another person. So for example, if my dharma is to be a businessman, so some people's dharma is to be a businessman and to earn money for the society. And the dharma of a businessman is to earn money not only for just their enjoyment, but also they make all the charity. They make all the philanthropic projects like Food for Life and then different projects. So if somebody is earning so much money, only then they can do all this charity. They can build temples and build other things. So and help the society. But the problem is that if somebody is a businessman and then they become a king and then they go into the government, so not just king in the literal sense, but king means government. So they go into the politics and their interest at heart is to earn money. They will only enjoy earning money and they will not enjoy actually helping people in getting justice. So the people in politics have to make like everything available, all the resources available to the people, and have everything be done justly. so that there is justice in the society. So that should be that is the dharma of the politicians of the kings or kshatriyas. But the dharma of the Vaishyas or the businessmen is that they have to earn money. That will only satisfy them. So Krishna says in the Bhagavad-gītā that Arjun, do your own dharma, only that will satisfy you. If you, being a Kshatriya, if you go and go in the forest to meditate, that will not satisfy you. Your mind will continue to distract you and then you will fall down. So like that, if a businessman takes the profession of a king or of a politician, then there will be chaos in the society because their interest is earning so much money. So they will make policies which will make them earn money. And then after that, they will become landowners also. They will start charging as much taxes as they want. And only interest at their heart is to earn money because they are businessmen from their nature, from their varna. From their nature, if they are businessmen, their interest is to earn money. And by earning money only, they will understand that they are getting happiness. So that is actually happening right now in society. Businessmen are taking to politics and their interest is to earn money, but they are choosing the wrong dharma to do that. And because of that, there is chaos in the society. So this is actually a prediction in this Bhagavad Gita that when there will be chaos in the society, when there will be family traditions will be destroyed. I will share my screen. Anybody wants to read the next verse or not? Nobody wants to read.
I can, Prabhuji.
Yes, Mataji, go ahead.
उत्सन्कुल धर्माणां मनुष्याणां जनार्दन नरके नियतं वासो भवति अनुश्रम
Bhavatitya anusushrama.
भवति अनुश्रमा.
Yes, thank you, Mataji.
O Krishna, maintainer of the people, I have heard by disciplic succession that those whose family's tradition are destroyed dwell always in hell.
Thank you, Mataji.
Hare
Hare Krishna. Okay, so it's very interesting that Arjuna is saying to Krishna that I have heard by disciplic succession by his guru that those whose family traditions are destroyed dwell always in hell. So, purport. Arjun bases his argument not on his own personal experience but on what he has heard from the authorities. This is the way of receiving real knowledge. One cannot reach the real point of factual knowledge without being helped by the right person who is already established in that knowledge. There is a system in which the Varnashram institution, by which before death one has to undergo the process of atonement for his sinful activities. One who is always engaged in sinful activities must utilize the process of atonement called the Prayaschit. Without doing so, one surely will be transferred to the hellish planets to undergo miserable lives as a result of sinful activities. So this is again in the Karma Kand, there is a process called Prayaschit. And you can perform Prayaschit at the end of your life if you are very sinful. If you are very sinful and you have realized that you don't want to be sinful anymore. So then there is a process that you do this Prayaschit. And then you become a good person. So basically that's the idea. So when you want to become, when you have realized that this being a bad person is giving me misery. So what do you mean by being a bad person? We can understand that being a bad person means that we are trying to enjoy. So if enjoyment, so enjoyment is not finding happiness. So there are two different things. One is enjoyment, one is finding happiness. So if our goal of life is enjoyment, so enjoyment means that I will chase different things. So I recently saw this in Instagram. If you end up chasing butterflies, then those butterflies fly away. And you can waste your whole life chasing butterflies, but the butterflies will fly away. But if you make a beautiful garden, then the butterfly will come to you. So that is the idea that we have to do bhakti. So actually, if we absorb all our senses in Krishna, then all our senses will be satisfied. So because Krishna is Rishikesh, Arjun calls Krishna Rishikesh. Rishikesh means he's the master of the senses. And if the master of the senses is satisfied, then our senses will be satisfied. So if we like to speak, we can speak about Krishna. If we like to sing, we can sing about Krishna. There are so many beautiful bhajans. If we like to draw, we can draw the pictures of Krishna in his different pastimes. If we like to do any activity, we can do it as a service to Krishna. And even if we work and we do work that is unrelated to Krishna, we can also still offer it to Krishna that, oh Krishna, I am working and you are the enjoyer of my activities. So then we will stop being worried. All our worries will go away if we remember Krishna in all situations. So that is the main thing. So in this, I was explaining that there is prayachit. So we do prayachit. After doing prayachit, we again do sinful activities. So what happens is when we do any prayachit, like when we do Ganga Snan, so then what happens is the sins get destroyed. But sins don't get destroyed from the roots, because the roots of those sin is our sinful tendency. So when we go and do Ganga Snan and all our sins, all the fruits, so there is fruitive action. So every karma is like sowing a seed, and then after what happens is that seed matures into a fruit. So after a certain amount of time, whatever karma we did, we will have to face the results of that karma. And when we go and do Ganga Snan, so what happens is all our fruits of that sins will get destroyed. But if we again have those sinful tendencies, so if we still have the habit of lying, or if we still have the different negative habits which are leading us to have bad karma and bad results in life, if we don't learn from any situation, basically the whole point of Bhagavad-gītā first chapter is that we should learn from the situation instead of running away from the situation. So because what Arjun wanted to do was he wanted to run away from his situation. Arjun had a certain situation that he was going to have a battle, and what happened to Arjun was that he told Krishna that go and in the center of the battlefield, and we will let me look at how many people are there, who are my enemies and who are my friends. So that was the idea of Arjun. And when he went to the middle of the battlefield, so remember that Arjun has done this for millions of times. So Arjun is the warrior who has fought millions of battlefields, and he is called Mahabhao and Parantapa. So Mahabhao means he's extremely strong. He's the strongest warrior, almost one of the strongest warriors in the whole battle. And he's called Parantapa. Parantapa means that अपने दुश्मनों को तड़पा तड़पा के मारा है. That he hits his enemies, tortures his enemies basically. So he tortures a lot and his enemies, and then he kills them. So like that. That is the nature of Arjun. So basically, I don't know if he tortures or not, but he killed all his enemies in all his battlefields. And he was always fighting on the side of Dharma, because whatever Dharma dictated, so he was fighting like that. But whenever he did, he never thought a second time that so many people are going to die. So we are discussing the reasons that Arjun is saying now to not fight. So in the previous class, we were discussing that what are the 4 reasons. So one reason was compassion. That first reason that Arjun gives, that so many innocent soldiers will die. That so many people will die and they don't even have a fault. And only Kauravas have this fault, and then they did some things, and Dhritarashtra did some things, and Duryodhan and all these people. And but others will not die uselessly. So why must we kill so many useless people? And this is very logical reason. Everybody becomes convinced that wow, Arjun, so compassionate, such a good person, devotee. But we have to understand, Arjun never thought, for millions of battlefields that he fought on, he never thought that so many people are going to die. For first time in his life, he's thinking that so many people are going to die. And why is he thinking for the first time in his life? Because he's fighting his own relatives. And Arjun and Krishna knows this. Krishna knows that Arjun is fighting his own relatives, and he's getting this weakness in his heart. So Hridaya Dhaurbalyam, Arjun is getting. So we have to understand that Arjun was a warrior. His nature is Kshatriya. He never thought second time that he had to fight, because he is fighting since childhood. since he was a child only, he was preparing, he was training in archery. He was the best archer, like he could shoot the machli ki aankh, the eye of the fish that was reflected in a mirror. So like that. So he can do many things that nobody else could do. So he's such a good archer. So, and not just archer, such a good warrior. He's killing everybody and not feeling remorseful ever, because he's fighting for dharma. And today also he's fighting for dharma. But he's thinking, because so many of my relatives will die, these people I've grown up with. He's seeing that Guru Dronacharya, he only taught me all these weapons. And Bhishma Pitama, he only told me, he only helped me grow up. So many people will die. And this Duryodhan, these are my cousins, these Kauravas. So he's very remorseful now. And he's thinking that innocent people will die, because the people he loves will also die. So, and he's saying that on my side also, my family will die, because other side also has very strong warriors like Lord Bhishma Pitama and others. So, and Karna and different warriors. So now, for the first time, Arjun is just not feeling on his peak performance. So this is the whole point, that Arjun's weakness was not due to his compassion. कि अचानक से compassion जाग नहीं गया. He didn't suddenly become compassionate. That hundreds of battlefields he didn't have any compassion. Today he's thinking innocent soldiers will die. So this doesn't happen. Only when we are faced with some certain situations. So one time, one athlete, he went to a monk and he said that you keep meditating whole day. And what has this meditation ever given you? See, active, fit body I have, and then I can do so many gymnastics. You keep doing yoga, you can do anything. I can do many more things than you. And then the monk said, okay, now come with me. And then the monk took him to the gym first. So in the gymnast gym, what he did, he said, this is a plank. And there was a plank. There was a 2 feet plank. And he said that you walk on this. And the gymnast said, oh, walking, but you're saying that this is so easy. So he had to balance. So it was like little bit small. So he had to balance his feet and walk on that plank. And he kept balancing and he could walk for a long distance. And without, in his mind only, he couldn't even think of falling, because he's doing so many gymnastics. He has made so much balance in his body. And now the monk said, now come with me. Now they took that plank and went to a rooftop of a 10-story building. And they put the same plank between two rooftops. So from one rooftop to another. And between the two rooftops where the plank was, there was just nothing, ceiling, like the floor. And the monk said, now you go, walk on this. And the gymnast, he said, what are you saying? I will fall. And he was so scared that, and the monk said that the plank has not changed. Only your inner perception of that plank has changed. That now you fear for your life, because your mind is uncontrolled. You are not fearing walking on that plank. You just did that 2 minutes ago. But you are fearing your perception of walking, that you will fall after walking and you'll break your leg or you'll die because of that. And then the monk started walking on that. And he showed that, see, my lifetime of cultivation of this spirituality, the result is that I have completely controlled my mind, while your mind is uncontrolled. So like that. So similarly, we face many situations. So sometimes when we are talking to one person, we are completely okay. But when we talk to in a huge crowd, when we have to give some public speaking, we have to speak in public, then we get scared. We get all this because our mind is uncontrolled. So like that. So we are trying to do this Bhagavad-gītā to understand this, that Krishna is going to explain to Arjun that how to control his mind. In the 6th chapter, he will explain in more detail. But because Arjun's mind is uncontrolled, he is having all these negative thoughts that, oh, I am not going to fight, oh, I am going to have compassion, all these good, brilliant ideas that, oh, there will be sinful activities, oh, there will be lot of the tarpan to my ancestors will stop. Like all these things will happen. These are valid logical reasons, but all the logical reasons are just excuses that Arjun is making up on spot. When we don't want to do something, when a child doesn't want to go to school, then he will say all these brilliant reasons that, oh, today the school is not going to have any class and the teacher is not good and I don't want to go and I'm having stomachache. So he will make all these good reasons, but the actual reason is the child doesn't want to go to school. So similarly, Arjun doesn't want to fight. So he's he's using all his intelligence to give all the reasons that I don't want to fight. And Krishna, so that Krishna agrees. And Krishna is listening. Krishna has not spoken a word till now. So he has not given any orders that you do this, not given any instruction. So the next verse. Does anyone want to read? Okay, I'll read. Aho bata mahat papam kartum vyavasita vayam tadraja sukhalobhena antum swajanam udyata. Alas, how strange it is that we are preparing to commit greatly sinful acts driven by the desire to enjoy royal happiness. We are intent on killing our own kinsmen. What? Driven by selfish motives, one may be inclined to commit sinful acts such as killing of one's own brother, father, or mother. There are many such instances in the history of the world, but Arjun, being a saintly devotee of the Lord, is always conscious of moral principles and therefore he takes care to avoid such activities. So, right now, Arjun is saying that I want to avoid this sinful act of killing my kinsman. But he knows inside that killing his kinsman is the correct thing to do. Because if his kinsmen, if Duryodhan and if Dhritarashtra continue to be on the throne, then already they have done some sinful activity to Draupadi, that they have tried to disrobe her in public. So they are not respectful of women also. So what will be the position of the society if Arjun suddenly starts to leave the battlefield and he goes, and what will the position? What will be the position of women? So because Arjun is still saintly, he will not disrespect any woman in his kingdom. But if Duryodhan takes up the throne, then imagine. So he has to fight for this battlefield. He has to fight. And not just that, all the injustice was happening in this kingdom if Duryodhan took the throne. Because he's trying to exploit, he's trying to do all the trickery to exploit, to take away the kingdom of the Pandavas, the unfair gambling match, the position of women, and all these things. So it is very justified battle that is happening. And actually, not just that, Krishna explains in the future chapters that not just that. So you might think that innocent people are still dying. No, you could just assassinate them in the night or something. Just kill the Kauravas and kill Dhritarashtra and be done with it. But actually, that is not the case. Actually, when Krishna explains that यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य ग्लानिर्भवति भारत अभ्युत्थानम् अधर्मस्य तदात्मानं सृजाम्यहम्. That whenever there is increase in adharma in the world, so when all the politicians become corrupt, so like different time periods, there have been times when all the kings were just not saintly kings, they were corrupt kings and they wanted to exploit their citizens. So, and whenever that happens, Krishna says that I will take birth. I will not just take birth, I will do Mahabharat and I will kill all these kings that are corrupt. So the idea was that Mahabharat will happen. They will invite all the kings to fight in this Mahabharat, a great war, and then all the corrupt kings will die, and then Arjun will be remaining, and Pandavas will be remaining, and Yudhishthir Maharaj is anyways the Dharmaraj, and they will establish the rightful rule. So that was the idea of Krishna. So if you are thinking that something unfair is happening, nothing unfair is happening in this war. So I hope that is clear. That is not a doubt. Okay, we can read this. यदि माम अप्रतीकारम् अशेस्त्रम् Shastrapanaya Dhartarashtrarane Hanyus Tanme Kshema Taram Bhavet. Better for me if the sons of Dhritarashtra, weapons in hand, were to kill me unarmed and unresisting on the battlefield. Purport. It is the custom, according to Kshatriya fighting principles, that an unarmed and unwilling foe should never be attacked. Arjun, however, decided that even if attacked by an enemy in such an awkward position, he would not fight. He did not consider how much the other party was bent upon fighting. All these symptoms were due to his soft-heartedness, resulting from being a great devotee of the Lord. So he's now thinking that they might kill me unarmed. And actually, the Kauravas have tried to kill the Pandavas unarmed. So they tried to burn their house. So burning their house is actually very sinful. Like you're just trying to kill them, like in their sleep. So imagine Arjun is still saying that if they even if they kill me, it's okay. So that is just not befitting a Kshatriya, because a Kshatriya's mood should be always to be ready to fight. But he's losing his determination right now. Because Arjun, why is losing his determination? Sometimes we lose determination because we don't have the meaning of life. We are not in tune with what we should do with our life. So what is the aim? What is the purpose? What is the vision? So that is why we have to read Bhagavad-gītā. Because in Bhagavad-gītā, Krishna will give the vision to Arjun. He will say that now you do this activity, and he will give all the knowledge of all the dharmas. So that is why Arjun's vision will be restored. And when his vision will be restored, his determination will be restored. Because that is the main thing, that Arjun is losing his determination in this part of the chapter. So, yes. Anybody wants to read this or not? I'll read. Sanjay Vacha Evam Uktarjuna Sankhye Rathopasta Upavisat Visrijya Sasaram Sharam Chapyam Shoka Samvigna Manasa. Sanjay said, Arjun, having thus spoken on the battlefield, cast aside his bow and arrows and sat down on the chariot, his mind overwhelmed with grief. While observing the situation of this enemy, Arjun stood up on the chariot. But he was so afflicted with lamentation that he sat down again, setting aside his bow and arrows. Such a kind and soft-hearted person in the devotional service of Lord is fit to receive self-knowledge. So now Srila Prabhupada is explaining that if somebody is soft-hearted and then they care for others, they are compassionate, then only they will be fit to receive the knowledge. But again, we are understanding that how ironic this act was of Arjun keeping this bow aside. Because we were discussing this pastime in the last class as well, that what happened was Arjun had taken this vow that anybody who asks me to leave my bow, Gandiv. So Gandiv represents his determination, Arjuna's determination, that I will continue to fight for what is right, for my values. So sometimes we also have a lot of values, that we want to be honest. But are we always honest? That we want to be kind hearted. But are we always kind hearted to all the people? So we have to reflect on if we are living our values or not. So like that. So Arjuna, he was saying that he would cast aside his bow and arrow. But one day he had taken this vow that whoever asked me to cast aside my bow and arrow, I will kill them. Because I am a Kshatriya, I am a warrior, I am a proud warrior. I will not let anybody ask me to cast aside my bow and arrow. And one day in the battlefield, when Mahabharata was happening, Yudhishthir Maharaj, what he did? He said, what happened to Yudhishthir Maharaj was, he actually he was fighting Karna. And Karna is so strong because he's Surya Putra. And he was so strong, he had mastered all the art of weaponry from Parshuram. He was having the Narayan Astra and Pashupati Astra and Agni Astra. So all the Astras Karna had mastered. Karna and Arjun were almost equals. And even Krishna says that Karna is little bit stronger than you, Arjun. And what happened was that Yudhishthir Maharaj, he was fighting Karna, and obviously he was a little bit weak and he was falling behind in his shooting. So he became injured, and he was humiliated by Karna, because Karna said that don't even deserve to be fighting, because you don't even know the art of weaponry that well. So, and he insulted him very badly. And by after being insulted, he let him go also. He didn't kill Yudhishthir Maharaj, and he let him go. And while Yudhishthir Maharaj was resting in his tent, he was thinking that my brother Arjun, he will definitely take revenge for me. And so he was waiting, and then Arjun, out of concern, he came to check on Yudhishthir Maharaj first. That are you okay, my brother? And then Yudhishthir Maharaj said, "Oh, my dear brother, wonderful, you have come here. That means you have killed Karna." And Arjun said, "No, no, I am just coming to check on you." But Yudhishthir Maharaj says, then he becomes angry, and he says that you don't even know anything. Why you came before? Why you didn't kill him? Why you didn't take the revenge for your brother? If your brother is insulted, you have to fight for him, and you are not fit to be Kshatriya. You should leave your bow, and you should leave the battlefield. Like that, he started to insult Arjun, and then Arjun became angry. And Arjun said that I have taken this vow, I am a Kshatriya, and I have taken this vow that whoever tells me to leave aside my bow, I will kill them. Now I will kill you. And he began to kill Yudhishthir Maharaj. And Krishna was watching this. And Krishna said that, "Oh Arjun, what are you doing?" So he just face palmed. Then he stopped, stop. And after stopping Arjun, he said that what happened. Then they explained to Krishna what the situation is. And then Arjun was feeling inside, but he had taken this vow and he can't break his vow, because different vows, different people have taken, which have caused a lot of problems, but they have never broken any of their vows. And Arjun was said that now I have to kill anyway. And Krishna said, "No, no, no, don't kill. I will tell you." So for a Kshatriya, insult is also like killing. So you can give death by insult. So now you can insult Yudhishthir Maharaj, and that is also like killing him. So then Arjun began insulting Yudhishthir Maharaj, that because of you all this battle is happening, because of you we have to kill all these, because of you we couldn't even save our wife from the gambling match. She was insulted so badly in the middle of the battlefield, and we were all ready to kill him. I would kill all of them there only. Because of you we have to struggle so much in the forest, and like this he was going and giving so many insults, and Yudhishthir Maharaj almost like was at tears. He almost had tears in his eyes that that my brother, he's like this. And then Arjun says he apologizes after that, that he immediately touches the feet of Yudhishthir Maharaj, and he says that I apologize that I had to say insult because it was my vow, but I completely respect you. I never think this about you. But like this, imagine Arjun had such a great vow that he would kill anyone who would ask him to leave his bow, like Gandhi bow. But same Arjun, he's of his own will, he's leaving the Gandhi bow. So imagine the irony of this whole situation, that he has lost his determination so much. By when the crisis comes, we lose the determination so much that we don't even know. That Thomas Edison, he said that when we are going to achieve something great, then people who give up, they don't even know how close they are to succeeding. For example, you can think for a miner, he was tilling in the mine for months. He was digging the ground, the rocks for months. And then for months after not finding anything, he said that this spot is not good and I will find some other spot. And he went to another spot and started digging. And then another miner, he came to that same very spot that the previous miner had left, and he dig just one till he did. And after doing that, the whole the whole stone, it was just 3 feet deep. There was a huge rock of a diamond, huge diamond mine. and he just did one small thing and it whole thing cracked, and he found a huge diamond ore. And the previous miner, he was so unlucky that he was tilling for months and he never found any single diamond. And this one person, he found immediately. So we don't know how close we are to success before we give up. And similarly, you can think of another example, that a lotus or a bamboo actually. So when a bamboo grows, it grows in a very special way. So one person, he was planting bamboo seeds and watering them every day. And he did that for 6 years. Every day he was planting. Every day he was actually watering the bamboo plants. And nothing grew from those bamboo plants. And for after 6 years, his neighbors started making fun of him, that you are watering every day, nothing ever grows on your field. And after 6 years, he kept on watering, and his neighbors would keep on laughing at him. And in 6 weeks only, the bamboo started growing, and it went and grew up to 80 feet tall. So bamboo grows in this way. So till 6 years, only the roots grow. So actually, we don't see anything happening. We see that roots are growing, and we don't see the roots growing. But when it starts growing, it will grow instantly. It will go 80 feet tall. So similarly, when we do bhakti, it will seem like nothing is happening. We are chanting from years, we are chanting, and nothing is happening. But inside, we are becoming stronger. Our roots are growing. We are getting strong faith in Krishna. And when we get that strong faith, then instantly, when the situation comes, when we will lose our determination, like Arjun, the situation comes, we will lose our determination. Then, because of our relationship with Krishna, we will again find that determination. We will again have the purpose and meaning of life, and we will again be able to follow our path with conviction. So, that is the effect of following, reading the Bhagavad-gītā and following the practice of bhakti. So, yes. If I will stop here if there is any questions or feedback or comments.
Prabhuji, can I ask a question?
Yes, Prabhuji.
It's an interesting question. I was thinking about it, and you were saying about yada yada hi dharmasya, and Bhagwan comes when there is a hani of dharma,
Mhm.
and I think Abhay Prabhu has covered in previous classes also that
Mhm.
in Satyug, I think Hiranyakashipu and Hiranyach were the
Mhm.
main villains. So he
Yep.
came as avtaras, and then
Mhm.
in Treta Yuga, Ravan was there, so he came again. Then in Treta Yuga, Kansa and Narkasura was there.
Mhm.
That's why he came again. And they were all three uh, avatars which he took, or all these avatars
Yes.
which he took, is to basically kill the incarnations of Jai and Vijay, who were the servants of Lord Vishnu anyway. Now
Yes.
they were cursed that for they have to bear the human life and become not human life, they have to become Rakshasa and be killed by Bhagwan Vishnu, then only they will become liberated.
Mhm.
But then I think the Jai Vijay's curse is over, and
Yes.
because they have already spent their 3 life in Rakshasas, and even
Mhm.
though the dharma hani is happening every day in Kali Yuga, he's not coming. He's going to come
Mhm.
after at the end of Kali Yuga. So is it because uh, so this is an observation which I had. Is it because no super villain is there at the moment?
No, it's not like that, Prabhuji. So I will explain this. So first part of your question, that Krishna comes in 3 yugas. So Krishna, one of the names of Krishna or Vishnu is 3 yuga. So because 3 yuga means that he comes in 3 yugas, Satyug, Dwapar Yuga and Treta Yuga. And in the fourth Kali Yuga, he comes as his hidden incarnation. So hidden incarnation means Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So first we have to understand that Krishna comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, he is the same Krishna, but he comes as Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is the hidden incarnation. And then not just Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he comes as his holy name. So he comes as Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Then he comes as Srimad Bhagavatam, the transcendental literature that is glorifying Krishna. Then Krishna comes as the holy rivers, the Ganga and Yamuna and the other holy rivers. Then he comes as wood, which is Lord Jagannath, Daru Brahma. Then he comes as the Murti, the metal, the Ashtavigrah, Archa Vigrah, so which is where we can do devotional service. Then he comes as the plant, which is Tulsi. Then he comes as a time, which is Ekadashi or Janmashtami or auspicious dates. So he comes as many incarnations, and he takes many incarnations in Kali Yuga. So it is not that Krishna is not coming in Kali Yuga and he's disappeared. He is coming in so many different incarnations. In Dwapar Yuga, there was only one Krishna, and he had to do so many different activities. But in Kali Yuga, Krishna has expanded to so many different forms. So we can get unlimited mercy in Kali Yuga, which was not available in any other Yuga. So four Yugas, Satyug, Dwapar Yuga, Treta Yuga and Kali Yuga, they all go, and they are going and telling the Yamraj that, oh Yamraj, Satyug is saying that in me, I am having so many qualities that 99% of people, they go to heaven, and 1% of people only go to hell. And then Treta Yuga is coming, that when Treta Yuga happens, only 90% people go to heaven and only 10% go to hell. And then Dwapar Yuga happens, then it is still saying that 70% of people go to heaven and only 30% people go to hell. And then Kali Yuga comes. Kali Yuga comes and Kali Yuga says that 99% of people go to hell. But the 1% people that are remaining, they achieve the eternal that is not achievable in any other Yuga, which is back home, back to Godhead. So in Kali Yuga, we can achieve which we can't achieve in any other Yugas, because in Satyug, if we have to achieve Krishna, then we have to meditate for 60,000 years, because the lifespan in Satyug is 100,000 years. So we have to meditate and we have to do Kadi Tapasya. And one thought comes while meditation, again we have to do 60,000 years. So already, like, there is very little chance we'll be able to do. So many thoughts we have in our life. So that is why they try to find secluded place and all this thing. So that is not possible for us. 60,000 years of tapasya on one pointed thought of this, the Supreme Lord, that is not possible for us. So second is, when Yug Parivartan happens, then the Yug Dharma changes to Yajna, the fire sacrifice. So you can do fire sacrifice, but they had to do 100 Ashwamedh Yagyas to achieve a post of Indra in heaven. So imagine how many yagyas they would have to do to achieve Krishna. That is unlimited, imagine. But even 100 Ashwamedh yagyas, it is not easy. That because Indra, he becomes jealous that they will do 100 Ashwamedh yagya and then they will take my position. So Indra sends different Menaka, Amba, all the Apsaras that to distract the mind. Then Indra sometimes to use the horse, the horse sacrifice they are doing. So there is a horse that has to be sacrificed, and that horse has to roam freely on all the kingdoms, and then only it will be sacrificed. But sometimes Indra steals the horse, and then there is different things. There is sometimes battle with Indra also, with weapons also. So it is not possible. Like, it is very difficult to achieve anything in Satyug, in Dwapar Yuga also. Treta Yuga, sorry. And then Dwapar Yuga happens. So when Dwapar Yuga happens, the process of achieving self-realization is Vigraha Puja. So the worship of deities. So deities first time manifest in Dwapar Yuga. And Mother Yashoda also has the deities of Lord Vishnu. And they are doing different. The yagya and the meditation is still there, but main process of achieving becomes deity worship. And but the deity worship that was there in Dwapar Yuga is also very difficult process. So the process is, you have to wake up at some certain time, then you have to take bath in the freezing cold holy river, and then after doing that, if you touch anything, then you become contaminated. So you have to again go take bath, and then you have to prepare some meal prasadam, the bhoga offering, and you can only use all the utensils have to be new every time for every meal. So you have to offer meal 8 times a day, and all the utensils have to be created again by gold and silver. So you would only use gold and silver for offering to Lord Vishnu. So gold and silver, every meal they have to do new utensils, and 8 times a day. They have to make 8 meals in the day with 8 new sets of utensils, which will never be used again. which can only be given away in charity. So, and then also it is super strict that you have to wake up, you have to sleep, you have to do schedule. So it is very difficult, and especially now it's almost impossible in Kali Yuga, because who will be able to do that? Who affords that kind of luxury to use golden utensils every meal
सोना
and
बहुत
donate to
महंगा होता है
charity?
प्रभु जी, आपको बनाना मुश्किल ही है.
हाँ, तो इवन बनाना भी मुश्किल है. So it actually used to take the strength of the whole kingdom. So the king would be Rajarshi, and the king would donate all the money of the kingdom to have worship done in one major temple. So that is why we see in south of India there are so many huge temples. So actually that is not made by one person alone. The whole country would invest all its money, and temple would be the center of everything. All the thoughts of all the citizens revolved around temple only. But in Kali Yuga, actually that is also not possible, because we have so many other things. And now especially the temples, the culture of temples is losing its charm. So because of that, the only process in Kali Yuga that we have is Nama Sankirtan. That Kali Kale Nama Sankirtan. That is the only process of self-realization, that if we constantly chant the name 24 hours a day, then we will achieve self-realization very easily. That which cannot be done in the 3 yugas by thousands of years of tapasya, that we can do very easily in Kali Yuga. By in just one life, we can go back home, back to Godhead. So that is the boon of Kali Yuga. And even Vyasadeva, who has written all the Vedas, he is writing that in among the rivers, Ganga is the topmost. Among the devotees of Lord Vishnu, Vaishnavanam Yatha Shambhu, the Lord Shiva is the topmost. And among the yugas, Kali Yuga is the topmost. Why Kali Yuga is topmost? Because we have the holy name. And holy name is actually even better than Krishna. Because if Krishna is there, he will not be there on your tongue. So if you touch Krishna with your tongue, then very bad things will happen to you. And but holy name, that is Krishna, who is dancing on your tongue, who can come and dance on your tongue. So that holy name is even more merciful than Krishna. Even if you are contaminated, if you have not taken bath, you can still chant the holy name. Even if you are wearing shoes, you can still chant the holy name. So you don't have to sit anywhere, you don't have to be in any situation. You can say Krishna anywhere. Like even in one pastime of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, it is mentioned that Krishna, he was saying Krishna, Krishna Hare Krishna Mahamantra constantly. And then when he would be in the toilet, he would like touch his tongue like this with his teeth. He would hold his tongue so that the tongue doesn't keep chanting the holy name, because he said that I am in an impure place, I am in the toilet, and I don't want to chant. I don't want to speak the name of Krishna in an impure place. But then his own disciple, Raghav Pandit or somebody. So he said that even in, so if you die in that place, if you die in the toilet, then will you not be able to go back home, back to Godhead? And then Lord Krishna, he actually Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he actually wanted to glorify his devotee only. And then he said that you are even my spiritual master, that you are my Shiksha Guru. You are teaching even me. You can even correct even me. So, and then he established all over the world that you can even chant in the toilet, no problem. But if we are only chanting for 10 minutes a day, and that is while we are in the toilet, so that is not good. So we should try to chant in the pure place, because Krishna's name is pure. So out of respect, if we are only chanting for 2 hours a day, or however many minutes we are chanting, so then we should try to make it as best as possible. So yes, I hope that answers your question, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhuji. Thank you.
Any other questions, feedback, comments? Okay, if not, we can stop here. Panchakalpatarubhishcha kripa sindhu bhageva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Yes, Jagai and Madai are also Jai and Vijay. Thank you for sharing.